Today guys on Beer Geek Nation, we're looking at the latest release in the Founders Backstage series. This is their Sweet Repute, coming in at 12.6% alcohol by volume. It's a wheat wine that's been 100% aged in maple syrup bourbon barrels as well as standard bourbon barrels. They blend the two together to get the final product. This is the first beer from the Backstage series in a while that's been 100% barrel aged. Some of the more recent ones have only been partial barrel aged. And you know, for a little tidbit, where do they get maple syrup bourbon barrels? Well, there's actually a company called Bliss that actually makes a bourbon barrel aged maple syrup. So they use those barrels to put the beer in. Very, very interesting stuff. Looking forward to this one. These beers have been really solid in the past. So let me get into a glass, let you guys know how it smells, tastes, and give me the final verdict on the Founders Sweet Repute. All right, guys, the aroma on the Sweet Repute. Oh, wow, massive bourbon, vanilla, oakiness, almost like a sweet caramel type of flavor. A little bit of phenolic note. I wonder if that's from the actual yeast they're using this, a fruitiness. Definitely a little bit of citrus in there, a big sweetness to it, but wow, massive bourbon. All right, guys, so the taste on the Sweet Repute. Cheers. Oh, wow. Yeah, that bourbon really comes through in the flavor in this one. If you were afraid the full 100% bourbon barrel aged beers were going away from Founders, you got to try this one right at the front of the tongue. Massive vanilla, tons of oakiness. Actually a really big hop presence in this one. This beer was aged for 16 months, but you're still getting a really big hop presence, big citrus, a slight tropical fruitiness to it. Middle of the mouth, you get a big sweet fruitiness, lots of big sweet vanillas, a lot of body to this one. Obviously, being a wheat wine, you're going to get a lot of that. Definitely some vanilla bean characteristics, a bit of a sweet alcohol flavor in the middle of the mouth, really sweet aftertaste in this one. You know, you're getting that maple syrup. It's almost like eating like a Belgian waffle or something with some whipped cream on it. Lots of maple syrup sweetness, a big kind of almost heavy breadiness to it, a chewy caramel toffee type of flavor in there, but it balances off that big bourbon very, very nicely. It's a big, sweet, decadent beer. You can definitely tell it's 12.6%, but it is awesome. All right, guys, so the final verdict on the Founders Sweet Repute, available now, 12.6%. Limited availability, so get it while you can, guys. I'm giving this one an A. As far as beers in the Backstage series from Founders, I think this is definitely at the top of them. I loved Curmudgeon's Better Half, and this actually reminds me a lot of that. It's got a big, sweet, malty body. It's got tons of bourbon characteristics, lots of vanilla, that oakiness, that underlying kind of maple syrup sweetness to play off some of the hoppiness, play off some of the wheat characteristics. It all just works. It absolutely feels like a 12.6% wheat wine aged in bourbon barrels. You know, just a big kind of chewy, aggressive beer with tons of flavor and tons of character, and they absolutely nailed this one. And at being almost 13%, there's definitely some alcohol to it, but it's not nearly as overwhelming as I thought it might be. Really, really a well-balanced, well-crafted beer. Definitely worth checking out. Definitely worth finding it if you need to trade for it or whatever. It's worth doing that. So getting an A from me, and remember, folks, life's too short. Drink amazing beers. Cheers.